Dear students, I'll tell you today about the colonial literature in America. Now you see, what is colonial period? The most important thing is that time, which time it covers. So from 1607 up to 1765, about 150 years. So this time is known as colonial period in America. Now the literature at this time was, we can say, almost scanty. There was nothing important written during this whole period, that is colonial period. But a few writers, they must be named for their a little efforts. Before that, I want to tell you one thing, that up till now the colonists were a little aware of, a little familiar with each other. Now slowly, gradually, they are being familiar with each other, and this familiarness, this closeness made them come closer in contact with each other, and this resulted in a kind of nationalism. This was the rise of American nationalism. And now you see that the rise of nationalism has made them write something, and to do something, to produce something. Now they started writing something, express their feelings, and the expression is in the form of sometimes poetry, sometimes in prose. We see that before that period they were looking to England as their home. But now this rise of nationalism has made them think over it. And now they started thinking as if they are the people of America. They are the people of living on one land, and now this is America, not any other country. So this time the rise of nationalism, the feeling of American citizen, and all these things, and a little feeling of freedom from slavery, from the British rule, this all made them write something. And now most of the people, they except the Puritans, most of the people, the other Europeans, they wanted a kind of freedom from the slavery of England, because for everything they were dependent. Now the printing of the books, the writing material, the reading material, and the literature, for everything they were dependent to England. And now they wanted their own, to do something at their own, and therefore this gave them a kind of nationalism, a feeling of nationalism. And we can say that the outcome is not very important. The whole outcome of this colonial period writers is not very important, it's not very significant. But still it is important, because it is a kind of preparation for the literature. It is a kind of, you can say, a way to pave the path for the literature. So therefore this is important. In this way, in this whole period, we can notice 7 writers, minimum 7 writers, and their contribution to American literature. Although there were a number of writers, but these 7 writers can be remarkable. Now I'll tell you the names. Annie Bradstreet. She is the first writer who was inspired by the British literature, and especially British Romanticism, and she was a religious type of writer. Her themes were mostly religious. Now the second writer was Michael Wigglesworth. Michael Wigglesworth was also a religious type of poet, and his themes were also a kind of dealing with religious themes, religious matters. They were influenced by the Puritan etiquettes, Puritan culture, and Puritan rules. Now the next writer is Edward Taylor. Edward Taylor is not very much important writer. He is very, you can say, uninsignificant writer, because he wrote too much. But he wrote on the neither on religion nor on any other thing. His themes are based on only the serenity and joy presented in the life of Christianity. This was the main motto. So the life, serenity and other things based on Christian lifestyle. So this was his main theme. So maybe his works important. And now the next writer is Thomas Godfrey. His name can be more important because he has written a play. He was the first writer to present a play first time in America. It was written for the American professional stage. It was a tragedy written in blank verse. Name is The Prince of Parthia. This was the first ever play written in America in this period, whole colonial period. And now the next writer is Cotton Mather's. Cotton Mather's was a writer. He wrote too many books, too many pamphlets, and the quality of these pamphlets and books was not so good. Still, he produced much. This was his contribution, and all his works were published in England. All these things, whichever is written there, it was all published in England. So from England they were getting this facility, otherwise they were having no their own printing press or other things. Now the next writer we can name Jonathan Edwards. Jonathan Edwards was a writer who is more important in the sense that he was the writer who presented the Puritan oligarchy. His works are full of Puritanism. He generalized his personal experiences into this book regarding the Puritan oligarchy. So he paved a way for the religious thoughts, religious thinking, rethinking in this way through his works. So he is important. And now one more important name we can take, that is Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin is a writer who is much more important because he is known as the writer of enlightenment, awareness, reason, logic, a new thought, ideology, because he has given all this. He was having his own printing press. He started his own printing books, and now you see that he has founded the printing press, the circulating library, the college and the scientific society. So as a founder of all these things, he was very influential, and whatever he wrote, he got it published into his own printing press. He was having a big bookshop also. So in this way he provided a platform to all the writers to get their works published in America only. Now they are no more dependent on England. So in this way he is the very, we can say, the most important writer of this colonial period. So this period of about 150 years is almost, we can say, for the literary point of view, it was scanty. But still these writers did something, a little efforts to move the way for literature. We'll continue it. Thanks.